Hi there, hope all of you are doing fine. Now, some of you may be watching this video just by reading the title of this video. Well, others may have ended up watching my video by getting the subscription notification that you get through YouTube on your phone or even PC for that matter. Well, I welcome both of the categories who have eventually ended up watching my video, and it's now kind of my responsibility to entertain you or, if possible, educate you for the next couple of years. And that is why in this video I'll be sharing 7 things that I wish I knew even before I started my fitness journey. So chances are that if you avoid all these mistakes which I have done in the past, you may start noticing some better results on your way. So what are we waiting for then? Let us get started. So the first thing that I wish I knew even before I started training was not to eat whatever that was in front of me. Yes. Back then when I just started training, I used to train in the gym for about 1 hour or 2. But as far as my diet was concerned, I used to eat hell lot of junk food. At that time, my definition of bulking was to eat however or whatever I wanted, but that's absolutely false. Simple definition of bulking is to eat just in a caloric surplus, and that too in a slight caloric surplus. So start tracking whatever you're eating from today. So I personally use Healthify.me app to track all my foods. It's easily available in Play Store. You can go and download it from Play Store. Yes, you can eat pizzas and burgers once in a while, but it doesn't make any sense when you have it more frequently. And it does make sense when you start treating them like a snack rather than treating them like a food. So to summarize all the things that I have said, the best way to eliminate something bad from your diet is to approach it slowly and focusing on replacing it with something good rather than getting rid of something bad. So the second thing that I wish I knew even before I started training is not to overtrain. Maturity is when you understand that the more you train, the lesser you get. This statement is indeed half true because to a certain extent you may see better results in terms of muscle growth, but after you cross a certain barrier or a certain boundary line, you won't be able to see any of those gains, or you may even lose whatever you have gained. When I just started training, I used to go to the gym and hit one muscle group per day, and that too I used to do 20 to 25 sets for that particular muscle group, expecting better results in terms of muscle growth. But guess what? At the end of the day, I would sit depressed searching Google, why am I not getting any of the gains? Muscle actually doesn't grow when you are in the gym. Rather, it breaks down in the gym and it recovers and gets stronger while you are sleeping. So for anyone who are just starting to train, I would suggest them to do at least 8 to 10 sets per muscle group per week and concentrate more on your nutrition and to get better sleep. Try to get at least 7 to 8 hours of good sleep and eat enough protein so that your body can initiate muscle protein synthesis. So this brings me to the next thing that I wish I knew even before I started training is not to follow growth split. During the beginning phase, there exists something called as newbie gains. During this initial phase of about 6 to 8 months, you can gain more muscle mass compared to any other experienced lifters out there. If you are a natural drug-free lifter, then following growth splits will not help you in any possible way. And for those who don't even know what are growth splits are kind of typical muscle building routine where you focus on a single muscle group per day. For example, you train chest on Monday, biceps on Tuesday, triceps on Wednesday, and so on. And when you follow this split, your body will only be able to initiate muscle protein synthesis once in every 7 days. But when you follow any other routines like push-pull split or even upper body lower body split, your body will be able to initiate muscle protein synthesis every 2 days, and as a result you can gain more muscle mass. So if you guys are looking for any training routines like push-pull split or even upper body lower body split, I have uploaded those on my Instagram. Link is in the description. You guys can go and check that out. So the next point that I wish I knew is to focus more on compound lifts. So if you want to build more muscle mass and add size to your physique, then focus more on compound movements rather than focusing more on regular isolation exercises. Compound movements are those movements where more muscle groups work simultaneously to perform that specific movement. So when there is an involvement of so many muscle groups simultaneously, it tends to boost your natural testosterone production, and as a result your muscle protein synthesis will be increased, which will lead to more muscle mass. So add more compound movements like bench press, deadlift, squats, overhead press to get maximum out of your workout. So the next tip I wish I knew even before I started training is to focus on my abdominal muscle. Proper nutrition, fat loss diet and a low body fat percentage are still of a paramount importance when it comes to achieving a stronger six-pack abs. But what many people fail to realize is that abs are just like any other muscle group and needs consistency and proper overloading to make it grow better. So as I have mentioned in my previous point, compound exercises must be the primary focus on building the stronger abdominal muscle, but it also needs an additional isolation work in order to make it grow better. I have uploaded my personal 9-minute ab routine on this channel. I'll be giving that video's link in the description. You can go and check that video out. When it comes to the dieting part, try to eat whole foods and completely avoid junk foods. Try to eat in a caloric deficit because your body burns those extra fat storages for energy and that in turn will make your abs visible. This brings me to the sixth tip that I wish I knew is not to neglect cardio workouts. If you want to lose fat or lower your body fat percentage for that matter, cardio is one of the highly efficient techniques to burn calories resulting in fat. So there are mainly three types of cardio workouts: low intensity cardio, moderate intensity cardio and high intensity cardio. Low intensity cardio involves something like a brisk walk or riding a bicycle. Example for a moderate intensity cardio is jogging or swimming for that matter. And some of the examples for high intensity cardio is sprinting or climbing stairs. I personally prefer low intensity cardio and moderate intensity cardio to burn more calories, but don't exceed more than 30 minutes when it comes to moderate intensity cardio workouts because it can break down your muscle to provide your body with constant energy. Have a light snack 30 minutes before you go on a cardio session so that your body is supplied with constant energy throughout your workout session. So the last point, which is in general for whatever you do in your life, is consistency. So when it comes to losing fat or building muscle, consistency is the key factor for getting greater results. The process of muscle growth or fat loss is very slow, and it is when you become consistent, you will increase your stamina and will be able to do all the exercises with greater efficiency. Gaining muscle is really not a child's play. Months and years of rigorous workout and training can go behind building a great physique. So hope you all like this video. I am trying my best to produce contents with better quality and knowledge. So share this video with your friends or your gym partner. I'll meet you guys in the next video. Until then, stay fit and stay safe.